Adam here with WholesaleSepticSupply.com. What we're going to do is we're going to show you on a Clearstream CS103EL. Okay, so they're cream in color, and that's where you're going to find your pump model number right there. It says CS103EL, and we're going to show you how to rebuild one of these things. So you got 4 screws on the base. You take those off. This one we've kind of prepped, so you'll have to, sometimes you'll have to use a rubber mallet or a flathead to kind of get them undone. They don't, sometimes they're not the easiest thing to get loose. They've just been there for years running. And so this one just pops right off. Sometimes you'll have to hit it a little bit, or you get a flathead screwdriver there and just pop it open a little bit, and then bam, it'll come off. So this is the unit. Your contacts have come loose, and what happens is the magnet's got ridges on it. When the diaphragm rips, the magnet travels too far, hits this little switch right here, and there's the switch. Hits the switch and snaps the screw, and the unit shuts off. So you don't necessarily need a new pump. You just need to rebuild it. So they're not all that hard to rebuild. So we're going to show you how to do that right now. So take these out. 4 screws on each side. Now you can take them out with a power drill, but when you put them back in, you can use a power drill, but you run the risk of cracking the edges here, and then you'll need another rebuild kit. So take these out. 7mm socket. Put that bad boy on there. This one's not tore, so the other side's tore. Most of the time, when your safety screw breaks, the diaphragms there's something wrong. So a lot of people, I'll have some people, and they want to buy a bunch of safety screws, and they're wondering why their unit's not working. It's because the diaphragm's tore. It has nothing to do with the safety screws there to save the unit from damaging itself. So what'll happen is you'll get and there you go. So diaphragm tore. The reason it shuts off is this magnet here travels back and forth, and if it doesn't shut off, it'll start hitting this chamber block right here, and you can actually crack the magnet, and you can break the threads, and you'll strip them out. It'll rub back and forth. So we've seen it where people take a zip tie and put that in there, and then when they go to rebuild it, their compressor's ruined. So you don't want to do that. So take this one off here. And this is off a client's unit. They didn't want to rebuild it. They just said, give me a new one, and we actually put a Fujimac on it it was a test for the Fujimac. It's still running 3 years later, so so we know this unit's going to run. It's never been rebuilt before. Okay, so we got that all taken apart. You have your rebuild kit. It'll come in a box like this. It'll come with that. It'll come with instructions, and it comes with the filter. Okay, so you get all your stuff out. Take your diaphragm. You'll see this little edge here. The orange always goes to the outside, always. Okay, so don't put the orange to the inside. You'll need another rebuild kit. So you put that on there, get that set, and make sure that's still set. Okay, so you get that on there, get that set. You're gonna get your nuts that come with it. Get all these out and get your safety screw. Don't you lose your safety screw. tiny, and it'll go missing pretty quick. Put that on there. All right. So now you're going to take your other diaphragm. You're going to push that in. Okay, same thing. Orange side out. Find your dog ear. Slide out on there. As you can see on these, there's notches right here, and those notches go in where that goes. So you put that in there like so. And then a lot of times, because the magnet wants to move, not so much on the first one, but on the second one, you're going to have to push the magnet in from the other side with your hand like I'm doing, and get this thing started. So what we'll do is push, get the washer on there, get the nut on there, take your 7mm socket, and these need to be fairly tight, so make sure both sides are sitting right. They're flush. So these go on pretty tight. A lot of people don't tighten them enough, and then they have some issues later. It comes loose, or it's rattling now. And well, it's rattling probably because you didn't put that screw on tight enough. Take your chamber blocks, put your chamber blocks on there. So, and on the chamber blocks, you'll see there's a notch here, and there's a little edge sticking out there. Put those on like such. So only one way it can go on, but that'll help you out. Save your screws. Do not throw your screws away. So there's your screws. The kit doesn't come with screws. If you desperately needed them, we could probably send them to you. We got a couple of them. Just don't use a power tool to put them back in. You really run the risk of cracking an edge. And the reason I'm doing it is for speed's sake, and I've done it so many times, I don't really run the risk of breaking them. Alright, so you got your other one. I'm going to put that on there. Turn this to the side. So, Clearstream's used these pumps for a long time, probably 10 years. There's a lot of them out there. Okay, so there's that. Put these back on like such. Put these back on like such. And I'm going to show you the inside of one, and this one has an alarm unit on it, so don't let that fool you. But this is a unit, a little smaller, it's got an alarm on it, but this unit is no good. If you see this red dust in your unit, you cannot rebuild it. What has happened is one of these electro coils have went out, the magnet's traveling too close to the unit, and that's creating an iron oxide inside, and this red dust just permeates everything. So if you see this red dust in your unit, and it's unmistakable, it's done for. It's not rust. I mean, you can tell it's a red dust. It's iron oxide. It's from the electrical components going bad. The coils are bad, and they're done for. So we got all that put together. All right. Now you take your safety screw, And you got to lift this up, make sure everything lines up. Take your safety screw, you put it in from this side, and you kind of got to be careful because they're designed to break. There it is. Alright, so the safety screw is in. That's your contact, so that's why the unit shut off. A lot of people call and they think they need a new pump, and they don't need a new pump unless it's red inside like that. And they think, well, I'm going to need a new pump. Well, you can rebuild it. Generally, you can rebuild these things twice, so you should get about 10 years out of them. Down south here, they don't last that long. About 3 years, 4 years. Just the heat gets to them. We don't have many, the seasons aren't as they are up north where they get an extreme cold, and it kind of helps those diaphragms last a little longer. Down here in Texas, we just do not get the life that everybody else gets out of them. Across the nation, we get that miserable 105-degree days, and it really puts a strain on stuff. So you put that safety screw in, and that nylon nut is not the easiest thing to do. I even struggle with it sometimes putting it on there. There's 2 sets of threads. You don't need to get the second set of threads on there. There's a little gap in there. Once this is on, you're good. So it's good to go. What we're going to do before you put it all back together is you're going to test it. We've already pigtailed it. Most of the Clearstreams are hardwired. That's it. So that's how you do it. Now, also coming with the kit, you want to keep your filter. You're gonna have to put your little shroud on here. Okay, you put your shroud on. That's your noise deadener. It's all rocking and rolling. Put that back on top. Doesn't matter how it goes back on. Your filter's in here. And this filter is actually, it's kind of important. So this is a new filter in there. But comes with the filter, so put your new filter in there. If you keep this filter clean, it helps extend the life of them. When the filter gets clogged up, you can reduce the life about 30%. So just come out every 6 months, take the filter out, run it under a water spigot. That's all you have to do. Just run it under the water spigot, kind of flick it dry, and you're good to go. Put the new filter on, screw it back on, and you're good to go. So that's how you rebuild a Clearstream CS103EL, and or it's 103. I'm sorry. 113 is the diffuser. That's pretty much it. So Clearstream CS103EL, that's how you rebuild them. Really simple to do, and get you rocking and rolling again. If you got red dust inside, remember, it's time for a new pump. All right. I hope you guys have a great day, and go to wholesale septic supply.com, and you can buy your kits there. Thanks.